Blighty Boxing with Frank Warren and Queensbury. We've spoken on the phone a number of times. Yeah. Finally get to meet the British welterweight champion, Ekow Essuman. Yeah. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks. And
does that still sound good?
Yeah, it sounds spot on.
Excellent. Now then, that was your last fight against Chris Jenkins. People thought it would go all the way. They thought it would be close, but you weakened your man and jumped on him. Got the job done.
Yeah.
What's your reading of it all?
I was expecting the fight probably to go a lot longer than it did. I was expecting to have to go into really deep waters with him because I knew the caliber of boxer that he was and how good he was with his footwork.
Underrated.
Yeah, a very underrated boxer. So when I got in there with him, the first few rounds I had to be careful because I know he can cut quite easily, and that wouldn't go in my favour. So I thought, well, I have to approach this very carefully, but I don't want to be outboxed in those first few rounds and have to play catch up. So I just tried to relax into the match, set my range, kept him busy, kept him working, brewing him, just so when we got into those the mid rounds, I could really step up the pressure and get to him.
Were you aware that you'd done his ribs?
There was a couple of times, a couple of firefights we had where he slipped my jab and came over with a right hand, and I'd been working on a defense for that, and I'd hit him with a few of the shots that I'd prepared for that, like just 2 shots to the body, so roll underneath, 2 shots to the body, really dig him in, take air out of him. I hit him with that a few times. I don't know if that's what caused it, but one of the times I hit him to the body, I heard him give off some air, like wind, so give off some air, and I knew, not that I'd broken a rib, but just that I'd hurt him, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep targeting the body, I'm not going to let him off with that.
You imagine the pain must be incredible from that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you sort of reconciled yourself to how you've turned your life and career around? Because, not without blowing any smoke in your direction, you really have done all this yourself. You know, you've done it through basically doing it off TV, going for winning English titles in your away corner. Yeah. Totally done it yourself. And then it's only after that you come over to Queensbury, although you were with us for one fight back in the early days.
Yeah.
I mean, do you sort of like take stock of how you've turned it around and give yourself a lot of credit?
Not yet.
You have though, haven't you?
A little bit. I think.
I mean, you had the amateur stuff.
I think, yeah, I had the amateur stuff as well. So, a little bit, but I've just had more confidence in myself. So I think when it all starts to sink in, you'll just see even more confidence just bursting out of me.
But it's all a natural pathway for you now, isn't it? When you joined up, it was natural, but you were going to be in line for the British title. Now you've got some defences. If you're successful, it's a natural probably to move on for the European title. Yeah. You don't need to worry about it too much. All you need to do is train and fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a nice position to be in now.
Yeah. Well, in that respect, I've worked hard to get into this position, and I'm grateful for it, and reveling in it.
This fight on Saturday, it's the sort of thing that fans and people like myself, we love, like 2 hungry, unbeaten fighters just prepared to go in there and do it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what's your reading of the fight?
What's my reading of the fight? I think, from what I know of him, it's going to be a good fight, and I feel like he's going to give it a right good go because obviously he's taken the fight, he's confident in it. So I've prepared for that, and when I say I've prepared for that, I've prepared for that.
I mean, he's not unlike you in the sense that he's turned his career on its head in the space of 2 or 3 fights by winning a big away fight in the away corner like you did. So you're actually very similar in many respects.
Yeah, very similar. The only thing is I've got a long pedigree before that period of what I'd done, so I can call back to a lot, and I can fall back on a lot, and I can bring back so much more energy and knowledge that I will show him in the ring.
Not overlooking Danny one little bit, but were you looking at Avanesian on Saturday thinking that could be on the cards in a couple of fights' time?
We're actually all right with each other. We've shared a hell of a lot of rounds. I got him ready for the first Josh Kelly fight, like sparring with him. That got cancelled. And then in the other camp we were sparring again. And then even for the Chris Jenkins fight before it got cancelled, I was sparring with him. And yeah, let me put it like this: if us two fight, it needs to be for a big, huge belt on the line because it's going to be worth the money.
Not the European title then.
It's got to be worth the money. It's got to be a
that big
step
enough
higher.
for you?
A step higher.
Step higher.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to go down the Conor Ben road because everyone asks you about that. But what I do want to ask you is Nottingham getting out behind you now? Are they knowing but they've got a champion in their midst?
Yes, Nottingham are getting behind me. People are starting to stop me, ask for pictures, say well done, just for putting Nottingham back on the map because there's been a little hole left by Carl Frotch, and it's myself and Lee Wood that right now are flying the flags for Nottingham. So hopefully we can bring back a huge show back to the city. That would be
who's going to be first
amazing.
to get you back to the arena?
The race, yeah, we'll have a race to see who can do it.
And finally, how's the dog?
Prince. Yeah, he's good. It's actually my missus sent me a message saying that he must have escaped out the garden.
Really?
And the postman knocked on and delivered him back in.
Really? Good old postman. You always rely on the postman, can't you?
Yeah.
Ekow, it's been brilliant talking to you and meeting you finally.
Yeah, you too.
Wish you health and safety and success on Saturday. So good luck, mate.
Oh, God bless. Thank you.
Cheers, buddy.